Welcome traders, today is July 14th and welcome to my daily recap for today. Now, today was a small day. It was almost a no trade, $0 day, but we managed to pick up one scalp at the end that kind of saved the day for us. So let's break it down. I only traded two stocks today, the first one being LHAI. Now, this one was a little bit iffy. And I was really frustrated at myself for trading this stock because it's a 16 million float. It's not part of my strategy. And it was incredibly choppy to trade. It was SSR. It had a ton of volume in the pre-market. And honestly, I got out flat on this one. So let's break it down. This morning, we made this huge push to about $1.50. Now, at $1.50, I was watching these main levels in the pre-market, and I knew that it was holding this range between $1.30 and $1.48. After this first push and rejection, I decided to short on this candle here. Unfortunately, because of slippage, my average was quite poor, and my average was only about $1.40. So I went in half size. In fact, this was probably less than half size. I knew there wasn't too much going on today, and I didn't want to take a big red day in case this doesn't go in my favor. So I shorted $1.50, which coincidentally is literally at the bottom of this candle. It actually did pop up a little higher, but the main issue here was it popped up, and then because it was SSR and slippage, by the time I actually put my order in and it filled me at $1.40. So this wasn't pretty, but I did okay. I got out flat. I didn't lose any money, which was really important to me because after I took this trade, the stock went up higher. It broke the $1.50 and it broke $1.55 briefly. Now, I didn't think it was going to break $1.50, but I told myself if it did, then we need to watch the $1.55 level, because if it does break the $1.55, one of two things is going to happen. It's going to slowly grind up, or it's going to break it and tap back down. So that's what happened. It broke it and immediately faded back below $1.50. So that's kind of what I was expecting, but I was prepared to cover if it broke $1.60. The reason I couldn't, or the reason why I didn't get out as soon as it broke $1.50 was because you see this double top $1.55. The stock is not going to break out unless it breaks the $1.55 cleanly. So $1.56, $1.57 is not going to cause this stock here to continue higher. It needs to break out cleanly, or it's going to fade, or it's going to fail. So that's kind of what happened. It failed. And on this dip, $1.37, $1.32, I didn't get out. My average wasn't good. I actually added on this breakdown, again at also $1.40, because I wanted to make sure that I am only adding to a ticker where I am winning. I didn't want to add to a loser. I didn't want to average up. This was a ticker that I was not happy about, but I added partial size. So I'm still not at full size yet. I think on this ticker, I was probably somewhere between 70% of my max size, and I wasn't committed to go any further. So my average $1.40s, it dropped to $1.32 and a retest $1.48, almost $1.50. In the market, in the opening market, it had this big tail at the bottom, and I really didn't like it. I was so fed up with the stock. I was really mad at myself for taking it in the first place because I missed a lot of good movers. So I opted to get out break even. At the end of it, my average exit was $1.38. I made maybe $70. Commission was probably just as much, and this was just a break-even trade. It was pretty unspectacular. I did the math. Because $1.40 was the high, this one I expected to go to about $1.18, $1.20. Now you can see what happened in the actual market. It faded to about $1.16, $1.17. But the thing with these higher float stocks, SSR and more thickly traded, is that they tend to grind up afterwards. After this retest or after this failure to $1.15, you can see it just slowly grinds up. And I mean, this was just not a good stock to trade. It's $1.37 right now. There was just not part of my setup, not part of my strategy. I was upset that I took it, but I got out flat. And honestly, I'm not even mad that it went down. I had about 4,500 shares at $1.40s. So, I mean, $1.40s, $1.15 or $1.20 even, that's probably $900. I'm not mad that I missed out. I don't have any FOMO on the stock. I'm more upset of the fact that I even took it in the first place. And if I did take it, I would have to default to my secondary set of stats, which tells me it was going to go to about $1.15. Well, my stats is $1.18, but it's just an average. We're pinching pennies here. But I should have held out. So either trade it with conviction into the opening market with a proper risk level, or don't trade it at all. And I kind of got caught in between, and so I end up getting out flat. I'm not too happy about it, but no harm, no foul. And I mean, it's back to $1.38. There wasn't anything I could do. I saw this flush immediately to $1.33 after I got out. I was really tempted to add and get back in, but I remembered the type of behavior these type of stocks like to exhibit, and I decided not to. So that's stock number one. Next one was NXTC. This is probably the one where everyone is talking about. It went from about $2 to a high of $12. I didn't really trade it in the opening of the market or in the pre-market, because after this massive push, it has a really low flow. I think the flow is only 2 to 3 million shares, but it has so much volume. It's up almost 500%, I think, and it's still holding. So this is what you see in the pre-market. And if you really want to short into this, I was asking myself, what am I really shorting into? Because there's a consolidation area clearly around this $9 to $9.50 range. And if you're going to short anything, you probably have to risk this level. But none of these stocks today are typically stocks that I like to trade. So if you look at stock like yesterday, where I made about $1,700, you can clearly see what happened. Push, rejection, retest, failure, fade. Very clean, very easy, very fast. Meanwhile, you have NXTC, where it has a massive push. This looks like a bull flag. Another push, a topping tail at the top, consolidating, holding at the $9 with massive amounts of volume. So I didn't even want to touch this, but I made a daily recap and I told myself I was done for the day. I was green about $71, I think, and I was done. I made the video, and then I saw this. And I figured, well, it's fading and it's holding the $7 level. It's in a downtrend. I don't think it will retest the $8 level. So I waited and I watched it really closely. You can see the highs here, 765, 770, and on this breakdown, that's what I was looking for. I shorted around 720, 730 level. I shorted in this candle and I got all my position out in the 650s, covering on the way down. So it was a very quick scalp in 720s, out around 660s, I believe. So I'm using chart watchers, but I'm going to show you the actual chart. I'm green $607.50 today. Close position, $6.69. So on this flush, on this breakdown below the right here, below the 720s, I got out most of my position in this flush. I think if you look at my covers, it was a mixture 670, 660, 650, 680s. I had small size, so I opted to cover in 200 share intervals in case it flushed further, but I didn't even get a chance to even hold out for the bottom. I just got all of it out. It was such a small size. I didn't want to take any additional risk. In hindsight, though, you can see there's a clear downtrend right here. Oh, I can't do that. There's a clear downtrend. But when you're in the moment trading on this breakdown, my average is not very good. The longer I hold on to it, especially given the fact that it is SSR, the more likely it will push. And that's what happened too. Hit a low of 576 and they pushed back to 740s. Held this level, small dip, 640s, back up to $7. So there is a lot of range. Typically, you don't see a stock that goes from 570 after fading from $10 almost, back up to 750s, back down to 630s, back up and breaks $7. So choppy day, choppy market. I got out with $600 and that's it. I mean, I hope today was better. I hope tomorrow will be better, but you have to trade the market you're in. I was pretty content with a no trade or $0 day. So scalping $600 is definitely a huge plus. And that's it for today. So we scalped $600 and hopefully tomorrow will give us better results, better trades, and better moves. So thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.